So, is a work really a work if everyone knows it's a work? Maybe I just like saying the word work. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of James Wrestle Talk. I apologise for not keeping up with what I said last time, that I would do loads of these, one after the other, but unfortunately there were slight issues. I did record this already, but annoyingly my mic just failed to pick it up. It came out basically as static. I apologise if there's any interference with the background, because I'm having to use one of my worse mics to hopefully get this to work. Also, it's going to be a bit of a rush problem because in my original episode I had already talked in length about a lot of these subjects. Basically, it's just a review of SmackDown at 4, so I do apologise. I hope you're all well wherever you are, but you're going to get a very kind of semi-rushed version of this, a bit like the last episode. Like I said, it is mostly me trying to catch up with what's going on so that I'm up to date, ready for the coming week. So let's just kick things right off with SmackDown. Because I personally think it's a pile of crap. I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't think it's really that good. It's not much of a talk show. It doesn't serve purpose. I know they had a bit with Bray Wyatt cutting a little promo, and there was a box throwing his original mask in it. But the problem is I'm not really buying into it because WWE is always back with the corners of the storyline. Bray Wyatt has just come off the wrestling again. Having both face each other as two kind of big names, the fans are kind of behind. Either way, you're going to somehow come into someone you like losing. So, fantastic. Bray Wyatt's promo wasn't that bad, actually. That's one little thing I'll add to it, because I did write down a note saying it wasn't that bad. But anyways, moving on from this, we had Sasha Banks versus Tamina, because there's no one meaner than Tamina, who also apparently wears an XL shirt, because she thought it was worth mentioning the shirt size during, the show. Well, actually, she got thrown a shirt, looked at the size, and sounded actually quite disappointed, as if she wanted one of her opponent's shirts, as if to say, oh, damn it, it's a medium and I'm an XL. Dang it. Which made no sense, but oh well. Overall, the match was good. To me, it actually looked quite good in the ring, in all fairness. There wasn't anything bad about her wrestling. She does it at a very slow pace, and she plays just, strong-headed. Isn't a lot of, just strength moves, spot after spot. But it was alright. Kept up with Sasha Banks. So, it served its purpose. It was alright. Then after that, we kind of got... Well, one thing I will add as well is that I didn't really get what the point of this was. That I understood that it was part of the storyline to throw Sasha Banks under a bus and have her lose, and it's going to be one of those ones where it's building up to a storyline of Bayley and Sasha Banks feuding. But I didn't get why Tamina's been thrown in this. It's clear that she's not going to be holding a title anytime soon. If she is, that'll be a hell of a surprise, hell of an undercard. I'll be impressed, because I would never predict it, so I'll be impressed if WWE do that. But other than that, I just don't really see the point in it. Then that was followed by Sheamus getting angry at everyone, like he apparently does lately. He, took some time out, he's back. In one of the best shapes he's been in. If you watch his YouTube channel, he's been working really hard to get this physique he's always wanted. And I don't know what to say, he's just squashing nobody, getting angry at everyone for no apparent reason. Yeah, that was pretty much it. I don't know what they're doing with him. Wish they'd given him a direction, but I don't think they ever will. That was then followed on by Naomi versus Dana Brooke, who I feel sorry for Naomi, because I thought she would finally get a push after coming back in the Royal Rumble, or we'd like to see her a bit more, and, because I always thought she was a good technical wrestler. She's been given some bad views, like the one with Mandy Rose was just absolute crap, and, that was terrible. Some of the worst matches came out of that. So I'm kind of hoping they're sending in the right direction, but no, apparently he's been pushed aside by Dana Brooke, and now Dana Brooke's going to be getting a push out of nowhere. So good for her. She can do what she wants with that. That was then followed by Sonya and Mandy doing their little kind of continuation of their little row, their little feud. Sonya made some very good points in the promo, saying about how she always came out to Mandy's music. She always kind of supported Mandy's goals. She always kind of like stood ringside. She never really got anything herself. So I don't know if that was creative team actually scripting it, or that was her just being told to say something to make her sound, to make a point. It was good. So kudos to her, really. I didn't really care for what happened after, because you had Dolph Ziggler come out, and then bloody Otis come out, and they had like a little feud and a little match and a little fight. So it was, it was what it was. Nothing really that great, in my opinion. I kind of lost interest. They also, one thing I will come off the case with is they did do a little tribute to the late and great Howard Finkel that we all love. Lovely man, absolutely like one of the best ring announcers I think I've ever heard. Whenever I think of WrestleMania or like some of the biggest matches in the world, it's always Howard Finkel's voice. I imagine doing like the narrating and like the announcements. What a guy. So all the best wishes to his friends and family and anyone that knew him. I hope they're all dealing with it, and just know that he's in a better place and that he's probably happy wherever he is, because I know the guy was in a lot of pain. He'd had medical issues in the past, so can I wish him the best. Shortly after, we had one of the best matches, what I would say was the best match of all of the SmackDown, which was Cesaro versus Daniel Bryan. Two guys that I think still don't get enough credit, really, when you think about it, because they're both fantastic. You have Cesaro, who always works his absolute hardest to sell other people. Or like a main push. Doesn't think he's probably never going to get one. Absolutely fantastic guy. Daniel Bryan, same case. Always works hard to push other people. He has had a push himself, but that's only because he's just fantastic on the mic, fantastic in promos. Ring work. Both of these guys are doing brilliant spots. I absolutely loved the match. Stayed interested for all of it. I actually wish WWE could do more matches like this. It was really good. I couldn't fault in the slightest. What was that followed by? That was then followed by the crap that was Elias and Corbin, because apparently their feud's not over yet. I don't know why. Apparently we're going back to Elias and Corbin having a feud. I don't know what to say about this, because they did the crap before WrestleMania where Corbin pushed Elias over like this balcony, and within a week Elias like somehow miraculously got healed and he was back, and they had a rematch and Elias won. They won in a heely way, and now apparently it's not over. Corbin's like jumping him backstage, and it seems like they always do this with, especially with Baron Corbin, where whenever he gets in a feud like the one with Roman Reigns, it just seems to go on forever and ever and ever, and it's just rematch after rematch after rematch. Like the guy can't take a hint that he like can't win. And I've lost interest. Just like usual WWE writing, it's made me lose interest. And yeah, I'm not going to say too much on it. I just think they're two people that I really wouldn't care if I didn't see them on TV. The only thing that I actually don't mind is Elias's music promos, because some of his songs are actually quite funny and have managed to get a laugh out of me. But Corbin lately, I can't stand to watch the guy. He's so boring in the ring. His promos are so just terrible. The guy just needs to stop. After this, we then got the triple threat match, which was The Miz, Uso and Big E, and I believe this was the main event for the whole night and that. And, it's supposed to be the other members that weren't participating in the triple threat for the tag team titles in the ladder match show on WrestleMania. I didn't really see the point in this. I get what they're saying is that the other members need to participate and to win it. But at the same time, the original triple threat match for tag team titles made no sense anyways. I get that because of the situation, there were restrictions. They couldn't afford to have 6 men and a referee, like obviously in a ring in close quarters together. So I personally think they just shouldn't have had it and just waited till this was over, or maybe changed the stipulation where, I don't know, you had 2 tag teams face off to face the champions at WrestleMania. I just feel like they could have come up with something last minute to get round what was going on, like, because of this situation. But no, they decided to do it. And I guess they did listen somewhat to the fans, because a lot of fans complained about, like, oh, well, Big E and The Miz weren't participating on the other side of this. And, so they had this whole thing where it was like, okay, we'll get the other side, the other tag team partners to come out and wrestle as well. And I already had a feeling that The Miz and Morrison weren't going to retain anyways, because the way that they were constantly the way that Miz was constantly cutting promos, making it sound so... Because whenever the Miz cuts promos where he sounds confident and cocky, he never seems to come out winning. I don't know if anyone else notices that, but that seems to always happen. So when I started seeing all the promos earlier on, the way he was going on about it, I was just like, there's no chance. The one thing I did take away from this, though, is that how much I would love to see Big E get a singles push. Big E is just fantastic in the ring. He's so entertaining to watch. Just generally a great guy. When he won, the way he celebrated it made me laugh, but also at the same time kind of cheer inside. They had the really stupid bit where the tag team partners like backstage cheering and like selfieing, but I get that that's just because of the situation, so I'm not gonna, chat side on too much on that. But it looked good. It worked. In some ways, if it was just like a triple threat match, I would have praised it a bit higher, but because of the stipulation it felt like it didn't make that much sense. But overall, I think they were all good. Everyone played their part, but especially Big E. I just feel like Big E was a single push massively. Like, after seeing what they could do with Kofi Kingston, I'll be interested to see what they could do if they gave Big E enough chances with what he's worth, because I think the guy is just absolutely fantastic. Overall, that was SmackDown. Like I said, there wasn't massive points. I got a few more bigger points to make in Raw because of certain situations, which I'll get to in a bit. But overall, SmackDown, it was pretty good, actually. Probably one of the better SmackDowns so far this year. I would give it a 5 out of 10 if I was to rate it. Obviously, it was nothing fantastic, nothing that had me on the edge of my seat, but there weren't too many botches. All the matches were good. None of the promos annoyed me too much. They're not like on the level of fantastic promos like Jake the Snake's doing in AEW and Cody and all that. But they're still good, so I'll give it a 5 out of 10. Moving on to Raw now. That started actually with a really good promo from Drew McIntyre, which is funny because last week I did not much care for him. I thought it was absolutely terrible, but no, he did a really good promo this past Monday or whatever. But it was good. It was entertaining, kept me to grips with it. Kind of came out that what he was doing last week, where he was just like talking about injuries and sounded like a little girl, basically. Felt like it really sold. He looked strong. He looked like a champion. He looked like he was there to represent. So can't complain. That was actually really good, and I'm hoping they'll keep this up. I will also mention other good things actually later on, because I also think his match was good. That was straight away followed, I believe, by an Aleister Black having another fantastic match, in my opinion. Aleister Black, always good. They do keep throwing jobbers at him, so I get that there's not much they can do. The jobbers tend to do a little bit of offense, but it always ends with just Aleister Black putting out the Black Mass, and that's it, getting the 1-2-3 count. So it's good to see they're keeping the Black Mass safe, keeping it as a strong finisher, not letting anyone kick out of it, really. Overall, just a simple kind of squash match. What more could you ask for? I always enjoy watching Aleister Black in the ring. I'm a big Aleister Black fan. I'm hoping one day he'll get a big push. Even if it's not for a main title, it'd just be good to kind of see him in maybe the Intercontinental or US Championship kind of area. It'd just be nice to see him get some kind of push. Hopefully soon. He's got a hell of a winning streak. Speaking of people that should get pushes, Shayna Baszler then continued on her temper tantrum. It was very... I don't know what to really say about it, because I don't think it was that good, but I get that they're trying to now sell it as that she's angry and she wants revenge. She's pissed off that she missed her one big opportunity, but I think any of us would be pissed off if you got promoted to this upper company after being in experimental, and you're given this big title shot, you're given this big push at Elimination Chamber where she basically eliminated almost everyone and was seen as this absolute monster, and she lost it. And not only that, she lost it to what a lot of people were saying was a bad finish, because of the fact that it was... Yeah, it was just... I'd talk about more about if I got to WrestleMania. I feel like I'd go in more detail. There's no point going in detail because I'm supposed to be talking about Raw. But overall, she had this temper tantrum. She, hurt her opponent again because she's just doing it. But the problem is, if you keep making her do it the way she is, it's going to stop making her look like a monster and make her look like an angry brat that just wants what she wants. This then was followed by actually really good tag team match featuring Ricochet and Alexander. I think they're both brilliant now together. I feel they're really coming along as a tag team. really starting to support each other, liking some of their combo moves as well. They're really starting to get a nice rhythm. I see high things for them. I really do. I hope to see more of them. I hope WWE don't do another refresh where they just change everything around and put Ricochet back as a single. I'm kind of hoping they keep this up. I'm enjoying the tag team. This was then followed by something that's been very controversial to a lot of people. A lot of people have shared their opinions. There's a lot of angry people out there as well, which was the Nia Jax versus Kairi Sane match. There was another incident with Nia Jax hurting someone. I know she's done this many times in the past. She busted Becky Lynch's face open. And now she had this moment where basically the spot was that she got Kairi Sane up on her shoulders. She was going to deliver, like almost like in a powerbomb position, I should say. And then she was going to deliver a buckle bomb. You could see that she was looking round Kairi Sane's body, trying to guess where like the corner was. She somehow misjudged it. I don't know how, because it's even if you can't see directly where it is, if you've been in that ring enough, surely you have a rough idea. I get that she's come back from an injury in that, but if she was that unconfident, she should speak up behind the scenes and perhaps not done this thing because of the consequences that came out of it. To get to it, she misjudged the launch. She, rather than throw Kairi Sane onto her feet with her back hitting the buckles, she basically ended up on her back with her head/neck hitting the bottom turnbuckle on the way down. It looked really horrible. It was, basically her head just bounced off that bottom turnbuckle. It looked like major whiplash. I hope that she's okay. I know that she's had some serious bad luck lately because in another recent match, she suffered from a concussion during the match as well, I believe. It was over at WrestleMania, another one where she got really dizzy and was falling all about the place. To put simply, it's a shame because Nia Jax is a good wrestler, but she is also a very dangerous one, it seems. She seems to keep making mistakes, and I only say that she'll have to clean up her act very soon, because otherwise WWE let her go and she'll pretty much end up blacklisted, because no company will want to hire someone that's known for injuring their talent. It's just a simple fact. No one will. So to put it simply, someone needs to really speak to her, because it's not just her. Someone needs to say to her and say, what are you doing? Like, clearly, if you can't even produce a sensible, good buckle bomb, and it was pretty simple down to positioning that caused it to go up in the air. And the fact is, she's been caught in the past failing to catch people and throwing them in the wrong kind of areas that they land more dangerously. Some of her power bombs in the past have ended with people kind of getting lammed on their neck rather than their upper back. I just feel like she needs counselling from someone. I feel like she could do with a manager just to say to her what she's doing right, what she's doing wrong, and that she needs to stop doing wrong. Otherwise, it's going to lead her down a very, very bad path, and she's going to be out of the business pretty much. Shortly after this, it was Seth Rollins' turn to cut a promo. It was all right. It was pretty good. He, kind of kept it simple, which is what I prefer from Seth Rollins, when he keeps it simple. It was just one of those simple, sit in the chair, look directly at the camera, make some threats kind of deal that a lot of people are opting for right now, because it's the only way to really do it from your place of home. You can't stand in the kitchen washing plates and stuff like that, or try and do a Chris Jericho pouring a terrible glass of orange juice and cutting a promo when you're trying to be serious. I think the only option you ever do have is to sit in a chair and look directly at the camera, because then at least it makes you look ominous, makes you look like, I don't know, concentrated, I guess is the word, or focused is a better word. So the promo was better than what I've seen. A part of me is kind of looking forward to Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, as long as it's done right, I guess. Seems a bit too soon for me. I'd like to see a few more encounters and just see how they handle it. Following on from that, we then did have what I consider an absolute nail in the coffin for Viking Raiders. I enjoyed the Viking Raiders when they moved up to WWE. I thought they were brilliant because they were taken serious. They were seeing these actual monsters that did all these heavy hits. They were big, but they were also agile and able to do cartwheels and flips. They looked really special, like they could become something one day. And then recently they did this stupid promo of them kind of behind the scenes, as WWE would like to say, where it was like them in the car joking around, eating and drinking and like giggling and smiling and stuff, and it ruined so many people's probably perception of them that actually wanted to take them seriously as this threat, because now all they're going to see is two giggly, chubby men in a car having a laugh and then putting Viking hats like they're cosplayers going to Comic-Con, and it doesn't work, sadly, anymore. I'm worried what made WWE think this was a good idea to do this as any kind of promotion, and I just find that this behind-the-scenes thing doesn't really work in a lot of promos where you're trying to sell these people off as who they are as characters, and yet you're going to show behind the scenes to show us what they're really like. Well, then you're just going to stop believing that, and anyone that's watching, especially a younger audience, is going to be like, well, I know what they're actually like, so why should I believe in this fake kind of gimmick they do as they come out to the ring? I've always believed in the old school way of you keep the kayfabe on. If you're a heel inside and outside the ring. That's what I have to praise MJF on, because on Twitter or seen in public, MJF is still MJF. He'll still throw a drink in your face or like still call you an arsehole or whatever. And that's how you do it, because it makes people believe in him, and that's why he's one of the hottest heels to this day. So not good, WWE. Not good at all. Still can't figure out why MVP is back. He was on next with his little match against Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews actually looked good in this match. I always forget how much of a talent that guy is, and just how like impressive he is to watch, because he's so big, but he's got this little kind of like, he has these little bursts of energy that just remind you how fast he can be as well. It was really impressive. MVP seems to have just come back to be like a punching bag that constantly gets beaten. I don't really see the point in him. He has his little talk show that's no good and all that, but, he's going to do what he's going to do, and I think WWE were just looking to fill in spaces, which is crazy when you consider everyone that they've just sacked off, but okay, it is what it is. I'm not going to go that much into it, because frankly I was struggling to keep my eyes open at this point. We then had Liv Morgan versus Ruby Riott, where Ruby completely failed to back up her words, where she made all these threats saying she was going to break Liv Morgan or something like that. It was something on like the lines of, I'm going to break you. It might have been, I'm going to break your arm or something. But basically, she ended up going into the match. There was a bit of like domination, but other than that, it ended up being Liv Morgan's win, and it just made Ruby Riott look like a sack of shit. Just look like a complete liar, like someone that can't back up their words, just fake, which is a shame. Another talent that's come back recently from a long hiatus and has just been thrown down the gutter already. Shortly after that, we had Bobby Lashley and Lana, who apparently I thought the storyline was going to lead to them breaking up, but they're still together, and they seem, still a bit lovey-dovey towards each other. There's a few spots where they were smiling at each other and kissing and all that, so I don't really get it. The whole promo just involved Bobby getting angry at Rubber, basically. It was just, he flipped a tractor tyre, then saw a monster truck tyre, and Lana wanted to see him flip it. He was trying to and struggled. He did it in the end, but he had a couple of like anger fits and stuff. I don't really get what this was to prove, other than Bobby Lashley's got anger issues. I don't know, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what the whole point was, but to me it just felt really stupid, really contrived. Just like, it just sounded like they were bored and were walking past the gym and just thought, let's just do a promo of a bit of gym equipment, like some tractor and monster tyres, and we'll just make something of it. It seemed very just like, it served no purpose, and I don't get what the whole bloody point in it was. That was then followed by Rey Mysterio and Buddy Murphy, two talents that are just absolutely brilliant. It was cool because Buddy Murphy obviously being a bit newer and Rey Mysterio a bit older school, it was like a clash of classes. I do wish Buddy Murphy would get a bit more of a push. I hate that he's become a bit of a lackey in this Seth Rollins group, because I do think that Buddy Murphy's just fantastic even on his own. Rey Mysterio got the win, so that's already Buddy Murphy's kind of a bit over, already. I guess he's going to go back to just backing up Seth Rollins in his match against Drew McIntyre. But Rey Mysterio is still good to see. I'm so happy that he didn't choose to retire when he said he was going to, which wasn't that long ago. He's decided to carry on a bit longer, probably just so he can one day have his dream match of wrestling with his son Dominic, which I really don't blame him. That's going to be absolutely fantastic, and all the best for him, being a father and all that. that was then followed by a little promo by Charlotte Flair and a quick wrestling match with her as NXT champion, and that was just... I'm not going to get into it too much because I never agreed with the result of her winning the NXT title. I thought it was absolutely stupid. I don't know what WWE were thinking, giving Rhea Ripley the loss in this. I don't understand why they did that. It served no purpose. Charlotte Flair can always win a title another time, but this was a big deal to Rhea Ripley. She didn't deserve to lose it. She cut this promo and that, doing a normal smug self, just like her dad does, which is absolutely fine. I get that that's what she does. She's a heel. I'm not going to go that much into it because I don't even like talking about it because, frankly, I just think it's just one of the most dumbest decisions WWE have ever made, and especially on WrestleMania. It's one of those decisions that I really, really can't get behind, and I just hope Rhea Ripley gets revenge, or at least someone gets revenge back from NXT, because right now you've got a brand where their title is being held at WWE and it makes no sense. Is Charlotte Flair going to move down to NXT to have her matches? I don't know. It just seems absolutely contrived and stupid. We then had Andrade versus someone that I completely forgot was even in WWE, which was Akira Tozawa. And Akira Tozawa, very impressive. Very, very impressive. He was very fast at some points, but knew to dumb it down to Andrade's kind of pace, and they had a nice rhythm going throughout the whole match. Some good spots, nothing really shaky. Akira Tozawa seems like he can hold himself. Overall, a really good match. I'd say it was even good on Andrade's part. Andrade was impressive as well. So I really can't complain. It was really good. I'm not going to say too much about that. Other than that, we had Bianca versus a breakdance teacher as far as I was concerned. I really wish I could have remembered her name. I could watch it back and find out what her name was, but I really don't care. All I know is she looked like some weird disco dancer teacher. The outfit looked absolutely stupid. No one really sold much about her. Like, the commentators didn't really say much about her. So it just seemed very contrived, very one-sided. Like, I'm sorry if anyone out there knows her from like an indie show and supports her, but she did nothing to interest me as a fan. So all the more better that she kind of was just beaten by Bianca Belair very, very quickly and taken out. I assume Bianca Belair's gonna challenge for like the NXT Women's title. I assume that's what they're building up to, because there was all that build up of when Rhea Ripley had it that Bianca Belair might face her. Now it looks like it might be Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair, which is a match I would actually like to see. I think it would be pretty good. Once again, depending on the result, it could be an absolutely brilliant match, the way it's portrayed, because I'm not knocking the Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair match, by the way. I thought it was a fantastic match, one of the better matches at WrestleMania. It's just the result felt like the wrong result to me, and it didn't pay off anyone. It literally had a negative effect, which is, completely crazy considering how good the match was. If they'd just tweaked that finish, it could have been the match that stole the night, but it just didn't because of that stupid end result. Then it was Drew McIntyre versus Angel Garza. I still like Angel Garza. He's a good heel. I actually think he's really good. I'd actually like to see him kind of dethrone Andrade, because I enjoy watching him wrestle. Like, I don't know what's about. He's got that real kind of like heel to him, almost like an Eddie Guerrero feel. It was really good. I also like Drew McIntyre. He's finally like feeling like a champion. He looks like a champion. He was fighting off like the whole gang at one point, looking very strong, not afraid to back down. Overall, really good. I was really happy that Drew McIntyre did a much better job this week than he did last week with all that he hurt me kind of crap. But yeah, there's not much to say. That's the end of Raw. I apologise that this took so long to come out. I didn't expect to have issues with my mic and didn't expect to have to mess about so much, so I do apologise to anyone that was like thinking I'm talking out my arse. I really wasn't. I was trying my absolute hardest to get this video out as soon as possible. It's just the way things are right now, it's not as easy. But yeah, that's it. Overall, the whole Raw thing, sadly, I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10, only because of that spot with Nia Jax and Kairi Sane. I really do hope Kairi Sane's okay and that she won't take this too much to heart, because she seems to be having the most worst luck lately. Nia Jax, I just think, needs to either take a break or someone needs to start managing her and watching her matches more closely, because she's clearly a danger to everyone else around her. She needs to be a close eye on, to put it simply. But yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 10, the overall show, because there were quite a lot of good bits. I did say in my last video that I would answer questions in my Raw vs SmackDown, but I'm going to leave it for when I've fully caught up, which will be Dynamite. Hopefully, I will be able to release the review of this week's AEW Dynamite and AEW Dark. And I will also be talking about the Being Elite 200th episode as well, just to fill in, because Dark's too short and it makes the video sometimes a bit too short. I think my last video was only 20 minutes and I tried to drag it out, so I don't want to keep it too short all the time. Otherwise, I'm just giving you minimal content, which is not what I want. I like to give out full content. But that's it for now. I hope you're all okay wherever you are. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night whenever you watch this. Feel free to give the video a like. Feel free to, even better, leave a comment. Feel free to leave a question and I will answer it when I finally got up. And just take care and feel free to subscribe. Click that subscription and the bell so that you're kept up to date with all my videos, and we can start building a community that we can start doing some pretty special things. I can't talk. I've got a few ideas in mind. It just requires the right amount of followers and funding, and we'll see how it goes. But for now, you'll take care. Bye bye.